assume we're doing a circle tonight.
No.
What? Why don't you, since there's no one here now? And
The most important person's here.
where? Where? I'm here. I didn't know I was here.
There. Are you there? Or
Who's on first? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. If you would take a minute and get up and find someone in the room you don't know and go over and say who you are and ask them who they are and where you live or whatever. So please, I know it's hard, but get up. Come on, you don't sit with people you don't know. That's not the way life works. So. Yeah, no, it's a little tight. We are going to need more chairs. Yeah, Sarah, could you ask Matt to bring more chairs? We need to make the circle bigger. And before you all sit down, we'll ask you to make the circle bigger. Matt's going to come in. Move your chairs back and near each other, and we'll have room to bring some more in. You can't just move back. You also need to move over next to each other, or else we just get a bigger circle with no more seats. So if you can move back and near each other, we can. Okay, I think we'll have some more people coming in. Folks, could I ask you please to move back a little bit so that we can make the circle a little bigger, but not just back, but over so that we can fit more chairs in. One way or another so chairs fit in, that's all. Just back just makes a bigger circle, but there we go. If you can do that, then we'll fit some more chairs in that way. That'd be great. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Today is a special Shabbat for a number of reasons. In the 1970s, any of you that were involved in the Reform movement back then, we saw an outpouring of creativity in the creation of books that were the gates of. It started with Gates of Prayer, a prayer book for Shabbat and weekdays and holidays. Then came Gates of Repentance, the High Holiday prayer book. Then came Gates of the House, which was a home prayer book. Then came Gates of Mitzvah, which helped to understand, wasn't a prayer book, but helped to explain the Jewish life cycle in the Jewish year. Gates of Understanding was a book which was designed to explain all the other books. That's actually true, it really happened. Which led most of us to think that the book for healing would be called Gates Gesundheit, but that one never happened, but it was great for Purim. And those books lasted a long time and lasted longer than they should have because it was not an easy proposition to redo them all. But in the past 8 years, we have seen a complete renewal of the cycle of Reformed Jewish prayer books. Yes, could
yes.
You go get that? Thank you. And we really are going to need more chairs, which is a nice problem. So again, if you'll back up a little bit more that way, and we can fit 2 more there, and we might need a couple more here.
Seriously? Oh my God, girlfriend.
So
I have
Mishkan,
spray on. I won't get near you.
Mishkan Tefillah, which meant literally the sanctuary or the altar of prayer, was the new book that came out for Shabbat and weekdays. And then Mishkan HaNefesh came out just recently, which was the high holiday version of the book, which we received and which was very well received. And we now have the latest of them. And you have 3 people here or more? Just 2. Okay, so we have 2 chairs for you. Good. Mishkan Halev is the newest prayer book. Tonight is the first Shabbat that anyone is using it anywhere. It is brand new, literally just off the presses. It is a prayer book for the Shabbatot in the month of Elul and for Slichot. And through a very, very kind-hearted donation, we were given these books And the donor asked that we dedicate them to people who've helped to make our services special over the course of the whole year. So your book may have a dedication, it may not, but we have reached out to people who have helped with our services, with our Rock Shabbat services, with high holidays, with healing services, with their choirs, whatever it's been, and we've thanked them for what they've done by dedicating the books to them. So we will be using this for the next 4 Shabbatot, and we will use it for Slichot. So we are the first people to use this because it is being used across the country on this Shabbat, but no one used it before tonight, the first Shabbat of the month of Elul. So, yes, we should start with Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Amen.
So the month of Elul presents each of us with a challenge. The challenge is to decide if we want to change. And before you can even start to change, you need to identify what it is you want to change. So I said last week that one of the reasons that so many New Year's resolutions are broken by 4 o'clock on the afternoon of New Year's Day is that they're kind of thought up at the last minute, and so, yeah, we did it. Yeah, I should exercise. So you buy a gym club membership which you never use, and there was your exercise. We Jews have taken the idea of teshuvah, of returning to the right path, very seriously. And we understand that in order to implement change, it needs to be thoughtful. So Elul is an entire month leading up to Rosh Hashanah, which is devoted to thinking about what we could make different. Now, personally, I have a very, very long list of things that I want other people to change. But that's not what Elul is for. Elul is to figure out what I need to change. And we do it with the knowledge that God is waiting for us to make that change. What I love is that we were taught long ago that the word Elul is an acrostic for Ani ledodi v'dodi li. I am my beloved's and my beloved is mine. And that God gave this month this name to remind us that God is our lover. It is waiting for us. Can you do better? Yes, I hope you can. And I'm here for you. That I love your effort. I love your desire to make it better. So we begin with Dodili.
Page 3. We'll do one verse together, and then you're going to do the melody.
Okay. So, yeah, this is one of the songs I do melody and sure does harmony and maybe works.
Dodili vani lo haohe vashoshanim Dodili. Let's try that one more time. Dodili vani lo haohe Bashoshanim Dodili Mizotola Minha Midbar Mizotola Minha Midbar Dodili Vani lo haohe vashoshanim Dodi mikuteret mo, mohu levona, dodili, dodili, vani lo harohe, Bashoshanim, dodili, libavtini, achoti, hala, libavtini, hala. Dodili, vani lo ahohe, bashoshanim, dodili. Okay, now all together. Second song is Ozi v'zimhatya. What I love about it is every once in a while I use it as a way to get myself going. Sometimes when I need strength and I need someone to lift my wings because I need the strength, I sing this to myself. Ozi v'zimratya vayahi lishua. Those are all the words. Ozi v'zimratya vayahi Yeshua, Ozi, v'zimratya, vayahi, Yeshua, Ozi, v'zimratya, vayahi, Yeshua, Ozi, v'zimratya, vayahi, Yeshua.
The readings in this service are different. And here's a real nice one, page 5. I'll let you in on a secret about how one should pray the sunset prayer. It's a juicy bit of praying, like strolling on grass. Nobody's chasing you. Nobody hurries you. You walk toward your Creator with gifts in pure, empty hands. The words are golden. Their meaning is transparent. It's as though you're saying them for the first time. If you don't catch on that you should feel a little elevated, you're not praying the sunset prayer. The tune is sheer simplicity. You're just lending a helping hand to the sinking day. It's a heavy responsibility. You take a created day and you slip it into the archive of life, where all our lived out days are lying together. The day is departing with a quiet kiss. It lies open at your feet while you stand saying the blessings. You can't create anything for yourself, but you can lead the day to its end and see clearly the smile of its going down. See how the whole it is, not diminished for a second. How you age with the days that keep dawning. How you bring your lived-out day as a gift to eternity.
Continue on page 6 with Kol HaNeshama. If we do this right, it sounds like bells tolling. Kol HaNeshama Tehallel, hallelujah. Yeah, we're going to do it higher.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
So sorry. Kol HaNeshama Tehallel, hallelujah. Kol HaNeshama Tehallel, hallelujah.
Page 11. In the beginning, emptiness and chaos, a great darkness over the deep. The Spirit of God moved over the waters, explosion of light, the long chain of emerging life. Behold, it was very good. These candles evoke the very first light. Out of the darkness came reason, purpose, consciousness of beauty, the power to discern and do what is right. Let us hold the light in our hearts. Let us bring it with us into the darkest corners of creation. Where there is pain and fear, let us offer the light of love. On the facing page.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might, teaching us holiness through sacred obligations, giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on Shabbat. Page 20.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachim L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shuvim L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 25 in the middle, as we prepare for Chatzi Kaddish, which is on the facing page. Magnified be your name here and now, in the life we are living. May we expand your presence in this world, extend the light of your goodness, make visible and tangible your love. Summoned to a purpose beyond ourselves, we bend our knees and bow.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמך בה, וילמד יברח חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דרכו בית ישראל. בהגנה, בהגנה, ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו, יהי שמך במבורך, להעלם עלל מהלמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפעל ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל, שמי קדושה בריחו, להילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונך חמתה דמירן בעלמא וימהו.
Amen. We continue on page 26. Please rise if you are able. I orient myself to the east, facing the land of Israel. I align myself with my people, embracing a noble tradition. I enlist in the work of justice, repairing a broken world. I take upon myself this mitzvah. Wherever you go, be a blessing.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed.
29. All of them are travelers, bodies in motion, obedient servants of celestial laws. Moons orbit planets, planets circle stars. Stars spin around galaxies. Galaxies cluster, drawn by dark matter. Superclusters flow, driven by dark energy. All of us are travelers, bodies in motion, unwitting servants of the flow of time. Within us, atoms vibrate, electrons whirl, and we are changing, aging, spinning our own orbits, drawn together, drifting apart, driven by forces we barely understand. Particles of matter in perpetual motion. We yearn for clarity and calm, strength to master our own dark energies, and to counter the darkness in our world. As we lift our gaze to the starlight, may we lift ourselves to embrace a higher law. Page 30.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha ahavta Amcha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadta Otanu limadta Al kin Adonai Eloheinu b'shachbeinu Uvkumeinu nasiyach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem nehage yomam v'layla, nehage yomam v'layla, v'yavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 35. Please be seated. An interpretation of the Haftarah. You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your strength. Remember these words. Inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them, even when they can't. Look at them and listen, even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof, when they save you from yourself. Love them when they give you joy, and love them when they don't. When you lie down, let go of anger. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourself to the ones you love, with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your care.
We continue on the top of page 36. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 39. And by the way, I know with a reading that's a full page like this, it may take some time to think about it. We've had the advantage. We've had this book for 3 months. We've had a chance to look through it. I got to pick which readings I liked and which I didn't. And by the way, you may like other ones and you may not like the ones that I chose. So if at any point in the service you read something and you go, I need to spend a little more time thinking about that, go for it. You'll know where to find us when you're ready to catch up. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows, and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is I who you have been looking for, and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. We continue on page 40, and because this is the beginning of Elul, and therefore our choir has started to rehearse all of our high holiday melodies, we will do the Mi Chamocha according to how we will sing it over the holidays. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, Nocha tehilot oseh fele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bukei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Zehili anu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'id. As it is written, Adonai will save Jacob and redeem him from one stronger than himself. Baruch atah from the shadows, no protection from the terrors of night, nothing but the warmth of a loving touch, comforting reminder, you are not alone.
Page 46. V'shamhu b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue with the Amidah on even number pages, starting with 48. And once again, please rise if you're able.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, Ha'yon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל החיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשנה יפה. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהלוך צלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Page 60. God who is ours, our God and our Father of our fathers and mothers. May our rest on this Shabbat bring you pleasure. Lead us to holiness through your mitzvot, and may each of us find a portion of Torah that is ours. You bestow such goodness. Teach us to be satisfied and to know the joy of your salvation. Help us to serve you truly with purity of heart. Let your holy Shabbat be our heritage, embraced freely and with love. And may all our people bring holiness to your name by resting on this day. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Our praise to you, Eternal One. You bring holiness to Shabbat.
Amen.
Page 69. At the bottom of the page. For all the gifts I received today, air in my lungs, pulse in my veins, my restless mind alive and curious, awakening suddenly to beauty, for love and the memory of love, forgiveness when I didn't deserve it, another chance at life. Let my soul give thanks to you. Let me not forget your kindness.
We continue on page 70. Shalom ha'ava Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom ha'ava Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech hadon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech hadon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol hit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
We continue silently to page 75. Pick a reading, try it out. If it's not one you like, try another, or try another next time. The bottom of page 75. At the beginning, if you remember, I said that I had a long list of things that I hope other people will improve. I'm not the only one who thought that. This is a reading that goes along with that same mindset. I'm surrounded by imperfection. Everyone I know falls short of my exacting standards. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if all of them were acceptable to me. The words of their mouths and the meditations of their hearts. Maybe then I'd finally find peace.
Yehi le'ratzon, yehi le'ratzon, im Tzuhi, Adonai, Tzuhi, Vegoali. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my God. Adonai, Tzuhi, my rock. Adonai, Tzuhi, my rock, my redeemer, my redeemer, my rock and my redeemer. Amen. Amen.
Page 77. We have a melody we've used before for our prayer for healing. But before we join together in that, I ask you to think about loved ones whose healing you're praying for. Healing of their body, healing of their heart, healing of their soul, healing of their spirit. And either say their names one at a time to yourself, or as I look at you, say their names aloud. But one way or the other, make their names part of our prayer.
Rabbi Sissy Koran. Rabbi Dan Kaiser.
Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of their wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know where they are. Healer of the brokenhearted, binder of our wounds, counter of uncountable stars, you know who we are. Hallelujah.
El Nahefanala, El Nahefanala, for women, El Nahefanalo, El Nahefanalo, for men, El Nahefanalanu, El Nahefanalanu, for us, El Nahefanali, El Nahefanali, for ourselves, El Nahefanala, El Nahefanala.
As the last Shabbat in the month of August, we pause for blessings for anniversaries. So do we have anniversary couples here this week? We do. And even if you're half of a couple, and I won't say who, but you're still a couple, and if you're still celebrating, we ask you to join us up at the Bima. So would everyone else please rise? See if we can find a place to get out of these chairs.
Oh, yes.
You want to see if you can find the kisses? Come on, right in the middle. That's it. You two, if you'd like, can hold hands. That's how it started. Somewhere there. And need you to know that for 13 years, I did anniversary blessings, and Shira was not here. She was in a different congregation. So it can be done. It really can. So you just need to feel Lynn next to you, and it works, okay?
Lynn is with a grandchild. She's on grandma duty.
That's a really good reason for her not to be here, too. So you can do this, okay? Just, you know, it works. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors. Bless these couples as they look back on the day of their marriage and forward to the years ahead. Many and varied have been their experiences together, but in happiness and in sorrow alike, you, O God, have been with them. Dear God, let your spirit to continue to glow within these couples, that each partner may see your image in the other. Let their way of life be loving and good, that they may help to bear each other's burdens as they share each other's joys. May these, your children, continue to know the blessing of a home that honors the house of Israel, a peaceful home where happiness, contentment, and love thrive. May they grow old together in health, and may they live in gratitude to you and to each other for their marriage. Please join us in Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We praise you, Adonai, our God, source of all creation, for creating us, for sustaining us, and for bringing us to this time of celebration. And we wish you all mazel tov. Ken Yerbu, many, many more years. And always we give kisses on anniversaries. So you get kisses and no one else here does. Happy anniversary to both of you.
Mazel tov.
Happy anniversary.
Mazel tov.
Happy 18th anniversary.
Mazel tov. For Lynn, with the other side for Lynn.
Please be seated. This congregation never used gates of repentance. I mentioned at the beginning. We used gates of prayer, but back in 1987, we decided that the Union Prayer Book, Volume 2, which you have to have grown up as a Reformed Jew before the 1970s to know, this tiny little black book, was really getting long in the tooth. No, the black High Holidays was black one. The one you're remembering is the Shabbat one, which was blue. Yes, they're both in my office. High Holidays was black. And so, so we looked through a bunch of prayer books, including Sharei Teshuvah, The Gates of Repentance, but we chose instead Wings of Awe, which was a brand new book out from B'nai B'rith Hillel, and many of you know we used that for more than 20 years, almost 30 years. And it was a really beautiful and wonderful book, but it too, after 30 years, had served its time. It was also falling apart, and it is no longer in print, so we couldn't even get more copies. That's what led us to Mishkan HaNefesh, the new High Holiday Prayer Book, which received a wonderful reception, just really, really wonderful. There's only one thing that I miss from Gates of Repentance. I got to use it for 3 years. in my first congregation as an assistant rabbi, there was one reading. So if you think about this, out of the whole prayer book, what I missed was one reading. We haven't had it available until now. So please turn back to page 7. I truly love this reading, and I preface it by saying that today the weather person on New Jersey 12 said there's a hint of fall in the air. Some of you don't want to hear that, but it was just coincidence that today that was said. So let's read this together. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Now is the time for turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange. The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more toward the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. For leaves, birds, and animals, turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I am sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are terribly hard to do, but unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. God, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith. Turn us around and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us toward each other, for in isolation there is no life. I have always loved this reading. For more than 35 years, I've read and loved this reading because I think it speaks to one of the most chutzpahdik things that Jews claim. We claim that humans are able to change. There is really a debate in the world of psychology as to whether anything is enough impetus for us to change other than fear. Now, fear comes in a lot of different ways. And it may be that Judaism recognized that a long time ago because, does anyone know what the traditional outfit is to wear on Yom Kippur? Sneakers, right? But more than that. Not just white. What white? Anyone know? It's called a kittel. Kittel was like a short talit. But we were commanded to wear the kittel that we're going to be buried in.
It's a shroud.
It's a shroud. It's once a year that we imitate, role play our own death. Why? Because the rabbis understood a long time ago that not much else is enough impetus to change. And maybe if I role play my own death, it will remind me that my life is not infinite, and if I want to make a change, I'd better do it. Because as you know, we read on Yom Kippur, what's going to happen in the year? Who will live, who will die? Now, whether you believe it's written in a book, which I do not believe, or whether we simply look at the world and go, you know what? There are people who are not here this year, who were here last year. Some of them are older than I, some of them are younger than I. It may be that only that fear is enough to get us to change. One rabbi long ago said very cynically, feel free to do whatever you want your whole life, just be sure you repent one day before you die. If you take that to heart, you understand what that means, which is today, because we don't know. What this reading says to me is that change in the world is instinctive and natural and happens. But change in the human is not. And one of the hardest parts, it says here, is that to change, we have to acknowledge that we're doing something wrong. It could be something major. It could be something minor. But if we're not doing it wrong, why on earth would we change? The only way to accomplish this is to say, this is not what I want to be. And what a lot of people do on the secular New Year's is to go, I wish I were thinner, I wish I were this, I wish I were this, or whatever, so I'm going to fix it. Doesn't work. I think it's only when we say, we do not have an unlimited time in which to make these changes. If tomorrow were to be the last day of our life, is there anything we would like to make better before tomorrow morning's sunrise? This is not a small thing. And by the way, those New Year's resolutions are really cheap. You go with the obvious. By the way, I wish I was thinner. Great. I work on it. It doesn't mean I give up, but I'm pleased there are scientists who now tell me that apparently my body has found its natural weight and there's not really anything to do about it. I went, yeah, that. Let's bronze that and put it into frames. So good. It's not that. But I'll never forget, my father, may he rest in peace, could not give up smoking. And from him, I learned how powerful an addiction is, because he was a very strong man. Could not give up smoking. But he did. And why did he? Because he finished a physical with his doctor who had known him for a very, very long time. And the doctor said, Saul, listen, I got to say goodbye. I'm not going to see you anymore. And my dad went, Bernie, you're retiring? He said, no, but your next physical's in 6 months and you're going to be dead. So let me just say goodbye. We're closing out your charts. What? He said, so you have one choice. If you give up smoking today, I might see you in 6 months. But if not, I'm not threatening you. I'm telling you, I'm taking your papers and putting them in the dead file because you're dead in 6 months. So listen, I really appreciate it. You're a good guy. Enjoy the time you have left. My father stopped smoking that day. And by the way, he lived another number of years. Not as long as he should have if he hadn't smoked, but he got a lot of time because the doctor scared him to death. And that's what it took. So maybe you have someone who can threaten you. I don't think it's a great way to improve a relationship. Maybe it needs to come from somewhere inside. We don't, in general, wear kittles on Yom Kippur. But maybe we should. Or maybe we should imitate this strange practice that's now going on in Korea, South Korea, where you can go and pay to spend a night in a coffin.
Ooh.
Really, check it out. You can go and spend a night in a coffin to see whether that time, and they don't seal it, but they put the top on it. And they say goodnight. And the people who've done it have said that they came out of it inspired to make changes in their life because the 12 hours or the 8 hours they spent in the coffin focused their attention. There's not a lot else to do. There's no TV to watch. They take away your watch, your phone, whatever. And they said that spending 8 hours in a coffin made them realize they weren't going to live forever, that one day that would be their resting place. Is it morbid? Yeah. Is it something I plan on doing as a claustrophobic person? No, it's not. I would have a lot I'd be thinking about. None would be that. But all of these are ways of saying we don't get forever and change doesn't happen by itself. And so we created Elul, a month in which we might take the time to stop and say, what do I wish to make better? What do I wish to change? And they give you one little piece of encouragement along the way. Because we Jews don't actually speak about change, we speak about teshuvah. And teshuvah means returning. If you imagine a path, a straight path, and you're walking along it with your eyes closed, you know that at a certain point you will wander off the path. You need to open your eyes to see where you've wandered and get back on the path. By the way, you'll wander off it again. That's not the point. But the idea of returning means we know where to go. The change is not for any of us unexplored territory. We know where it is. But our eyes are closed, and so we wander off. Looking around the room, I know every one of you, at least somewhat. You are not bad people. There are bad people out there. These are people who need to change, and if they don't, we're going to lock them up. Not one of you fits into that category. So the question isn't how do you go from being bad to being good. The question is how do you return to the path that you've already known? This is teshuvah. It can be done at any time, but we are given the gift of a month plus 10 days in which to make something extraordinary happen, to do what comes natural to the animals and the world, and that is to change.
We continue on page 104, where we mix the traditional melody of Hashivenu, which sort of to me introduces the high holidays, with the words return again, which are the words of Shlomo Carlebach. And it is a beautiful, haunting melody. So I ask you to please join me. Ashivenu, Ashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Vena Shuva, Vena Shuva, Hadish, Hadish, Yaminu Kikedim. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn. Ashivenu, Ashivenu, Adonai Elecha, Vena Shuva, Vena Shuva, Hadish, Hadish, Yamidu Kikedim.
Page 78. Please rise if you're able.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינה תוזור בגובה המרומים הוא אלוהינו אין עוד אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשיבות לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
Page 80.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
So first of all, Cantor Alexander sends her wishes for Shabbat Shalom to everybody. She's visiting family in Chicago for the weekend, and she sends her love. She'll be back here next week. Thank you very much to Shira for doing the music and helping to inaugurate our new prayer book. In a couple of weeks, we have everything starting. I'm sorry that people have done it. People say to me, how is your summer going? I say, my summer was lovely. It's over. This is what I lovingly refer to as my Christmas rush this time of year. But we have coming up our first Rock Shabbat, which is on September 8th. And Alan Goodis is a new artist. We haven't had him here before. We're making it at 6:30, so it's accessible to everybody. So we hope you'll join us for that. Our annual Slichot barbecue and service is coming up. For the barbecue, it's open to everybody. It's completely free of charge. But please let us know you're coming. That's all we ask. Just let us know you're coming. Information's on the sheet. You can do it online. Just tell us. Call, email, whatever. So you're going to be here. For the Slichot service, we will be using the second half of this book. And as you can see, I hope you find that the readings are beautiful and inspirational. And we look forward to doing that with us, with the choir, and everyone. Also, our Tat Shabbat is starting back up. If you have children, grandchildren, others in the preschool set, this year, Shira is going to be leading it together with Mr. Sam, who is the Pied Piper of the preschool set, one Saturday a month. And again, it's open to everybody. If you know anyone, it's not for parents to send their kids, it's to bring their kids. So you can bring children, bring grandchildren, whatever you like, but it's from basically 6 months on up until they say, this is for babies, I don't want to go anymore. You're welcome. There's information about all the year's programs and things going on, special programs, special services are in flyers outside in the lobby. There's one that's the general one, and there's one that's specifically for families with young children. Take whichever one you like. As I looked at the year, it's really going to be very interesting. We have a lot of new stuff going on. So please let us know about Slichot. Please let us know your high holiday service selection if you have not. And also, if you are going to make a pledge for the high holidays, we would be very grateful if you did as soon as possible, just so we know it is something we depend on very much every year. When you receive the information, when you think about it, we hope you'll think about what TRT means in your life and will help us to make that all happen. Oh, there is one other thing. Out on the table, there's a form that looks like this, and Joanna and I are actually asking your help. We're asking you for 1 to 5 words that describe God to you. There's no wrong answer, and we don't want a 5-word sentence. We're making a word cloud. So individual words, and if you don't believe in God, put that too. like non-existent is a word. But whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 individual words you would use to describe God, take it as a little mental challenge, a little part of getting ready for the high holidays. We'd love it if you did this. You can take the form, slide it under any of the doors of the offices. You can just email me or Joanna with your words, whatever works easiest for you. Let us know. And the more people we get to do this, the more interesting the word cloud's going to be. So please give us a hand with that. Just lost the place. Oh, there it is. Okay. Page 83. As we prepare for Kaddish, a reading to consider. Look, the trees are turning their own bodies into pillars of light. They're giving off the rich fragrance of cinnamon and fulfillment. The long tapers of cattails are bursting and floating away over the blue shoulders of the ponds. And every pond, no matter what its name is nameless now. Every year, everything I have ever learned in my lifetime leads back to this. The fires and the black river of loss, whose other side is salvation, whose meaning none of us will ever know. To live in this world, you must be able to do 3 things. To love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go, to let it go. If you are here to say Kaddish for someone who died within the past 7 days, if you are here for Shiva, we ask you please to rise and say aloud the names of the ones you're remembering. And if you are here to say Kaddish for Shloshim, for someone who died within the past 30 days, no, please stay standing. Please rise and say aloud their name. And if you are here to say Kaddish for Yartzeit or for any other reason, we ask you to rise and say aloud the names of the ones you're remembering.
Amakom Yinachem Etchem, Im Sha'a Avlei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. May God console you among the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem.
Page 86. Please rise if you're able. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabba, Ba'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קדושה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמיהן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום, עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל.
We turn back now to page 12. As we celebrate Shabbat with Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Who's the board person? No, and actually,
Take that to the custodian. He will cut it up and leave it for everybody. Page 89. Elul, we start the practice of blowing shofar every week or every day to remind everybody it's time to wake up. Let us ascend. As we hear the call of community, the voice of return, let us ascend. As we feel the pull and power of tradition, let us ascend toward forgiveness and peace of mind, toward heartfelt change and acts of repair. Let us ascend to the sound of shofar. Let us enter the gates of Truah. Page 91.
Baruch atah Adonai, shomea teruah.
Amen.
Tekiah, shvarim truah. תקיעה גדולה. יש כוח. לשנה טובה תיכתבו, לשנה טובה תיכתבו, תיכתבו לשנה טובה, לשנה טובה תיכתבו, לשנה טובה תיכתבו, תיכתבו לשנה
I spoke about the difference between resolutions made on January 1st and resolutions made for Rosh Hashanah. And one of the ways we understand the difference is that in America we say Happy New Year, but Jews say Lishana Tova. We don't say Happy New Year, we say a good New Year. May it be a good New Year for all of us and all the world.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. Would you need a service slip? Yes,
You know
I'm going
what?
to go get one for you. What?
Given that
Can we
there are
get
at
ice?
least 29 million years between people and you, how would you like to come get candy? Yes?
Yes, she gets candy. Of course she gets candy and a service slip. So
Service
go
slip I
ahead.
don't
I'll
have.
be right back with the service slip. I'll be right here.
I have the sweet stuff. There you go. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You can take two.
Yeah.
It's high holidays coming up.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you.
A year from today? No, a year from today you will. Tomorrow you wouldn't. Ooh,